and they're ready for what should be a battle here today with an outstanding crowd on hand as well in the FedEx Forum.
Yeah, it went from feeling like it was empty to getting pretty full quickly. Probably enjoyed one last pregame beverage on Beale Street.
Here's Jones on the step back and misses. Rebound picked up by Samuel Williamson. And here's your starting five for SMU today as Williamson takes it in. Got it back. And now the recipient for the easy two. Good feed from Chuck Harris. Here's your starting five for the Tigers today. And it's about playing together as a team, right? Which is what this group has done to get to that 12-2 mark to start this campaign.
And it's playing the way Penny wants them to play, which to a lot of people seems chaotic, but that's who they are. And this is the type of stuff you're going to see. A lot of coaches see that as a dangerous pass. It's part of the aggressiveness, and that aggressiveness is showcased on both sides of the ball. It's an adjustment that opponents have to make. They have to level up to the way Memphis plays.
Jaycon Walton scores at the tie of the game at 2. Here's B.J. Edwards for SMU. Shot clock. It's down to 5. Harris got it inside again. Williamson a little short this time, but collects it on the offensive rebound. Harris the runner, no. And Dandridge has it for Memphis.
Memphis at times gets into scramble mode too early in a possession, and that leads to offensive rebounding opportunities for the opponent. And they'll take those quick ones, which often lead to offensive rebounding opportunities for Memphis. So again, good flow to the game so far, even if it's been a little choppy.
Yeah, that was a long three by Quinterly that time. Here's Williamson on the turnaround, no, but they get it back once again. Keon Ambrose Hilton inside, count it.
A lot of confidence from this SMU team. And I would say the biggest difference between this year and last year is they just look more polished. They look more collective. Everything they're doing together. That's going to be a offensive foul on Malcolm Dandridge.
Here's your defensive ranks for SMU this season, John. It's outstanding. Second in the nation. The Mustangs, field goal and three-point percentage defense. How about that?
Look, you look at this and you see, okay, their defense is much improved, but it's a lot of little things, right? Success is merely the byproduct of doing a lot of little things right and for the right reasons. It's better communication, right? It's see-man, see ball, simple fundamental principles. They're much better at it, and it's hard to do at this level.
Phelps, shut off in the interior, gets it back out for Harris. Phelps in a step-back three. Got it.
And Phelps has been much improved as well, and I think more so in the patience department. This is what Memphis does. There's a time I used to go, gosh, why do you throw that pass? Well, what it does is what you just saw. And Rob Lanier right now is holding his hands up saying, guys, settle down. Don't fall into it. Memphis does that. The last thing that you can do is follow that up with tough plays, especially after what Zurich Phelps just did, making a tough shot from 3. You want to capitalize on Memphis turnovers with a good shot. Doesn't mean you're going to make it every single time, but you capitalize with a good look so you control the way the game is being played. You don't fall into the pace of Memphis when they start turning it over. What, 21 turnovers last game?
That was way too many. And a 78-75 win
Captain Obvious.
over Tulsa. Yes.
I would love to play for you. Guys, I know that was bad. It was way too many turnovers. All right, Coach, I got you. So understanding.
But hey, still to come away with a win, right? You're going to take that.
Part of that is style. If you can get the game played to your style, you can overcome a lot of things like turnovers.
Nice. What a feed inside by Quinterly to Tomlin for the 2.
And that's right. There's David Jones. But that's what Quinterly does so well. He probes, and he probes with his eyes up, and he looks you off a lot of times. He's going to freeze defense, eyes are up. He sees what's happening. He has 3 passes he can make in that situation. If the roll's not taken away by Samuel Williamson, it's going to be Naquan Tomlin dunk.
7-4 SMU. Ambrose Hilton's got 4. Phelps has 3. And then Tomlin and Walton each have a bucket for Memphis. 3-point lead for the Mustangs. 3 minutes gone by in this first half. B.J. Edwards to Harris off the screen. Edwards, step back 3 for him. A little short. Fight for it. And it's Quinterly who's going to come out of the pack with it. Jaden Hardaway almost a travel, and instead he throws the pass right into the hands of Chuck Harris. And a steal the other way. David Jones.
So again, Memphis turns one over, a bit of a careless turnover, and SMU, instead of being calculated, I don't mean cautious, I think cautious gets you hurt, but calculated with a good possession, capitalizing off a turnover, they come back, turn it over, and give up a wide open, easy dunk.
Harris sets a long three. That's back rim, and Keon Ambrose Hilton.
Three-bid league, year in, year out. People look at the Americans and say, this is a three-bid conference. Well, SMU is one of those programs, they've always been there, just knocking on the door, haven't been able to push it through.
We'll see if maybe this is the year for them. 15 and a half to go in the first half. Just underway here. Here's Williamson working it on the baseline. Got it knocked out of his hands. Shot clock is down to 3. Phelps relocates, puts it up. And coming away with it is Memphis. And that was Tomlin. Jones trying to double team, and a good job there as Samuel Williamson gets a steal, gets it up to Phelps, and he is fouled. Penny Hardaway, 6th season now, and this group is poised to have a really, really good year, John. You got to feel like it, right? 15th in the country. They've won 7 in a row. What do you like about what he's done here in this town?
I would say absolutely everything, particularly over the last couple years. You know, he figured out that the best way for him to win and play the way he wants to play is to get guys that want to play this way, right? Not just the one-and-doneers. Now, there's going to be one-and-doneers that come through this program, but that's going to be after you've established the way your team operates. I think it's really hard to start with one-and-doneers and establish anything with consistency. Why? Because those guys might be good one year, then it's a full restart the next year. He's establishing something that becomes part of the foundation. So 15 years, 20 years from now, it should look in a way the same, regardless of what talent is around. I really like last year's team. And this year's team resembles a big part of that last year's team.
The foul was on Ashton Hardaway, and then SMU's going to get this back off the miss. Phelps misses on the 3. Another offensive rebound here by Tyreek Smith. He goes in. They're going to call that a jump ball, and it's going to stay with SMU as well here on the arrow.
Well, Memphis has to get better at reading shots going up. So SMU sees the basketball better. They see the shot going up, so they're working for position as the ball's in the air, whereas Memphis is seeing it late and then not getting position on the defensive end of rebound.
Already 5 offensive rebounds, you called it, in this first 5 minutes of this game for SMU, but they turned it back over, and now the Tigers have it.
Now, the other side of that is there's been a lot of clankers. So when you have long rebounds on long shots because of late clock shots, which we've had, then, yeah, guards are going to be able to sneak in and get those long rebounds.
So far, SMU is 3 of 10 from the field. Memphis is 3 of 5. And you see the turnovers, 4 for the Tigers and 3 so far for the Mustangs.
I think it really comes down to how the game's played. If it's going to be fast-paced like this, over time it's going to favor Memphis. Even if they're down 10 at the half, the way the game's played would favor Memphis.
Ashton Hardaway gets it over to Tomlin. Shot clock is inside 10 now for the Tigers to shoot. Tomlin, look at that.
Wow.
Zurich Phelps quickly up to Smith. That's a 3 ball. Offensive rebound for the moment. And the ball got knocked out of bounds off of Memphis. A lot of quick shots, feel like, here in this game.
I think sometimes you fall into quick shots when you're getting so many offensive rebounds. You feel like you're playing better than you are. It feels like you're up 5 or 6 when you're really only up 1. But that's part of, again, I keep coming back to style, right? That's part of what Memphis does. They lure you into a pace. And if you don't slow them down, if you don't turn it into more of a half-court game, it's going to be turnovers and tough shots. And, yeah, if you can get offensive rebounds, great. But it'll wear on you if you're SMU, if you want to play 40 minutes like this.
A little bit of a scoring drought here for the Mustangs. 3 minutes and 20 seconds and counting here. 3 ball again in the corner. This one is good. Count it for Ricardo Wright.
Good ball movement. SMU playing with confidence, shooting with confidence, even though they've missed quite a bit.
Memphis will try to respond on a 3 themselves, and they do. It's Ashton Hardaway that drains it.
He gave the little quiet, the hush. Usually that's done on the road, but I believe it was directed at the bench.
Back to a 1-point game. 6.5 gone by first half. Here's Wright. Moving screen is the call here on Tyreek Smith, his first for SMU.
I'm going to go back. To me, SMU, I see trust and respect on the floor, and credit Rob Lanier for that. I see trust in the game plan. I see trust in one another. And that's evident when you see good communication. When there's poor communication, they don't trust one another, which means they're not relying on one another. There's also respect. I think there's better balance on this program right now because year one is done. It's been established what you need to do to be able to play at this level. And now the team understands their expectations. And their expectations are not just outcome-oriented. It's process-driven.
Hardaway for three. And that's going to go over to SMU.
You talk about chemistry and cohesiveness. When your analyst and producer think of the same thing at the same time, that's pretty darn good.
That was you. Yeah.
Well, no, it wasn't me. I just had a thought in my brain, but it's true. I mean, look what's happening. You got 6 offensive rebounds to start this game for SMU, and they've been physical, tough rebounds. They've established how the game's going to be played physically. I think Memphis has established the pace. Smith telling everybody to clear out as he takes it in and scores it over Tomlin. I mean, that's just big and good for Naquan Tomlin, just walling up, playing straight up, avoiding the foul. But the physicality is being established by SMU.
Nick Jourdain, and the pass is deflected out into the hands here of Walton, who gets it over for Jalen Young. Young over Harris, got it.
That's tough. Add another ball handler and shot maker to Memphis's backcourt. And also somebody that can run around, scramble, and pick up.
One of us should be called for the foul, so they took the foul off of Wright, okay? Because he was just trying to move to get free, and then they called the foul on Young. So no foul on Wright. First foul of the game on Jalen Young. The other thing in question, though, John, as you were talking about, is he's swinging the elbow. And then, that could have been a flagrant one as well. So that's another thing you could potentially be looking at.
It's funny. Sometimes that's what you go to the monitor to look at. Right. What you see is an actual cylinder violation. And truth be told, cylinder violations are probably closer to, like, pass blocking, right? There's holding on every play. I feel like there's always a cylinder violation if you can coax the official into the call. It's just not called all the time. Like they cover up in your face. That's technically a cylinder violation if you're trying to rip through.
That's a good point. Hudson was called for this personal foul on SMU. Does everybody have all that straight here? We're under 12 minutes to go in the first half.
Let's play ball.
1-point game. Let's do it. Driving through the lane, Quinterly, and he stepped on the baseline out of bounds after he got the ball back. And it's over to SMU.
I feel like in watching tape, I mean, calling games obviously from Memphis, but just watching games back, you see Memphis has this like feeling out process. Sometimes it lasts a half, sometimes it lasts 30 minutes, but man, they figure it out and they find a way to close. Memphis still feeling things out in this game. They're going to have to level up their physicality because right now that's going the way of SMU, and Smith has been really tough down low.
Tyreek Smith, he's got 4 points, 2 of 3 shooting from the field. It's a 3-point lead for the Mustangs. Quinterly, the floating runner is not there, but a good box out, and Memphis getting the offensive rebound. It's a traveling violation, though. Going down with it that time was Young. All right, here's Jones back into the lineup, John.
And Jones is the guy you really want to get him going. I mean, you saw what he could do at St. John's. They just didn't play with a consistency that you need to be able to win at this level. 20-plus points per game, and on any given night, he could go for 30-plus. His ability to shoot it from 3, get stuff in transition from their defense, which happens quite often for Memphis, but also in the half court. He's a tough matchup off the bounce.
The 20.9 points per game that he averages is good for 13th in the nation. He also gets to the free throw line a ton as well. Top 20 in attempts this season. Zurich Phelps. Williamson for SMU. Tough shot, rebound, pulled in by Tomlin.
That was one of the best defensive possessions for Memphis in the sense that they scrambled, they closed out, they even got switched up, and they still kept playing.
Walton rejected inside. Keon Ambrose Hilton. SMU running Phelps. Uses his body and converts.
Let that go on Nick Jourdain. I think he grabbed the rim out of safety. But had that ball not gone in, they would have called Bolton.
You're right.
But I like the no call. Let them play. Good rhythm, good flow. Let's keep it going.
Don Daly, Pat Adams, Joe Lindsay are officials here today, and stepping on the sideline out of bounds again as Memphis turns it over. That is now 6 turnovers on the afternoon for the Tigers.
Yeah, I mean, Memphis has been playing fast defensively, and it seems like SMU's been prepared for that, where they're getting into position early. And yeah, Nick Jordan, that ball doesn't go in, they're going to blow the whistle and call that goaltending. But I like letting it go for the player safety, and no reason to stop the play after that. Just let it go, let it flow. I didn't mean for that to run.
16-11, SMU leads it here over Memphis halfway through the first half. Harris gets it for Emery Lanier, and he lost it, but he got knocked out, and the crowd thinking it's Tigers ball. Now let's see, the officials will talk about it. Maybe they got a better look at it. And they won't change the call. Yep, it's Memphis possession. Yeah, off of his leg.
Good for Don Daly. And say, okay, you guys think you better look at it. You saw it clearly. Officials are allowed to get things wrong so long as they all come together and get it right.
Well, that's it. That's what I love about this crew. These are 3 really outstanding officials. You're talking.
They got their hands full. Right. They got their hands full. I did the Texas A&M Memphis game last year. That was a 3-hour regulation game. 50 fouls called. Amazing.
Quickly racing up the court. Phelps for Harris. 3, and that's off. There's a foul on the rebound. It's going to be on SMU on a push-off.
I would really like to see Memphis explore something in the post. If you can establish the way SMU's doubling and figure out if they're doubling every single time, there are so many options out of that double. You just have to be able to explore them and read where that double's coming from and whether it's coming with consistency.
Keon Ambrose Hilton was called for the foul. Memphis down with 3 balls. Jones misses. And it's over to SMU. They are on a scoring drought of almost 3 minutes now. Over 3 minutes. They're 0 for their last spot.
If you want to get David Jones into the game, nothing wrong with putting him on the block if you like the matchup. But again, David Jones, be prepared. There's going to be a double coming. This is what you do. Retreat dribble. Get yourself open. Have cutters. There's things that need to be discussed because that option's there.
How about the runner here from Samuel Williamson for SMU as they lead it now by 7 points. And that's out of bounds off the Mustangs.
Williamson's one of those guys, a Louisville transfer. He's got an advantage if he likes this matchup. He's got great length. Now, Nick Jordan is one of the better defenders. He needs to stay low and force a bad angle shot. That's a tough finish, but if you can force less of an angle on that shot, it's likely a missed shot run out, Memphis going the other way.
Five different players have scored so far for SMU.
I'd love to see this feed the post. They're looking to double.
Now look at this tenacious defense here from SMU. They get it out to Tomlin. A contested 3. That's off. Shows the offensive rebound, and he was fouled. And also very frustrated here as well. And he'll head to the line for 2.
You know, offense is really, we think about running sets, running actions to score. Well, really, it's you run stuff. You get into certain sets and actions to create options to at least have an advantage, right? You start with an advantage, you play with an advantage. So if they're going to double, if you can pass out of that, you just created a scramble situation. You have the advantage.
One more for Jones at the free throw line. Number 1, Michigan. Number 2, Washington. You ready, John? Tomorrow night, College Football Playoff National Championship presented by AT&T. And we'll have pregame coverage all day and have you covered on every single platform. You can bet that. 7:30 p.m. tomorrow night on ESPN.
I can bet that?
That we have you covered. Okay. Yeah. I'm not talking about
the problem is like there's like 30 megacasts and I'm not involved in one. I feel like I do nothing at the network.
Got to get you on the football side.
Yeah, no, that ship sailed.
Well, when you scroll through, right, on your, if you've got the cable still, you can scroll through and you can go through every single channel.
It's unreal.
It's awesome. Yep, the megacast tomorrow night. Covered for the national championship game, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific.
I just wonder what the conversation was like. If they're like, hey, we're going to call it a multicast. Like, no, it's bigger than that.
It is.
It's a megacast. Flip Michigan Mega Bowl.
5-point lead, SMU on the spin as Williamson. He does it again.
mean, that's the ISO opportunity if the paint's open and you're not going to show help. I like Samuel Williamson being aggressive and assertive.
He's got 4 points. Jones on the runner that doesn't go, and Tyreek Smith has the rebound. Jones is still down. 5 on 4 for the moment here, and Williamson going to try it again. And Smith is fouled.
It's because Memphis is just, there's another easy one right out of the timeout. You go to a bigger lineup, 2 bigs get lost. Easy slip to the basket for Smith.
Tyreek Smith heads up, 6 points, and it's 22-13 SMU. You see it there at 9 and 11 rebounds in the last game in the win over Charlotte, 66-54 on Tuesday night.
They want to throw it inside. Here comes the double. This is what they have not been prepared for.
Jones, and lost it on a sideline. Well, you said, John, you want to go inside, but the minute they go inside, they double team in the post.
But you have to anticipate the doubles coming, right? You know the double's coming, and it also comes down to the guys on the perimeter. Are you cutting to become a pressure release valve? Are you getting yourself open? If that's the only pass you've got, you're in trouble. With that double, I want to see a backside cutter. I want to see a backside cutter. Just flatten that defense, because then you can pass the ball back out around the perimeter. Leads to a long closeout. Attack long closeouts. Advantage Memphis in that case.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. That was the hardest pass that he had to make, and that's exactly what SMU wants to have you do, and they did it. So here's a 3 by Phelps. It's no good. Another offensive board. Crazy. Phelps doesn't have it. Finds Smith. It's a good look for 3. And that's finally going to be Memphis possession.
I get that we don't collectively box out the way we used to, right? Those box out drills where it's 2-on-2, shot goes up and you got to box your man out. It's more like pass blocking in football right now, where you go find a guy. It's positional rebounding. But right now, if you're getting beat up on the glass, you need to go find a body and find them early. Don't find a body once they get inside the paint.
Does SMU just want it more here or what?
I mean, look, it's just what they do. They've been aggressive, but I think a big part of that is they trust their defense so much, right? You can't gamble around the perimeter. You can't gamble with offensive rebounding opportunities if you don't trust what's behind you.
Williamson with his first personal foul. 5 team fouls for SMU. Head coach Rob Lanier, 30-plus seasons as a college coach. 9th as head coach. 2nd year here at SMU. He spent 3 years at Georgia State and 4 at Siena. And then that gap was an assistant coach for a long time and was at multiple different schools at St. Bonaventure, Rutgers, Texas, Virginia, Florida, and Tennessee.
And a lot of perspective in that journey, too.
Memphis cannot buy a bucket here. 0 for their last 8. 1 for their last 10. No field goals in 5 minutes and 40 seconds.
I would argue that they can't buy a good look, not just a bucket. Get to the foul line. That'll help.
Agreed. Smith kicks it corner. Runner, they kick it out. That was Harris who found the wide open man and enters and misses a 3. Offensive board Smith. It's taken away by Jones. And a foul is going to be called on SMU, and it's on Harris. That's his first.
I'll make the point that may sound silly, but this is the first time I've seen SMU in person this year. They're far better in person than they are on tape. And I think what you feel is different when you're in person, right? You watch analytically when you're watching a team and trying to figure out, okay, this is what they like to do. You watch rotations. Hard to see communication. Hard to really see physicality when you watch on tape. In person, they're far better, which means they're far more challenging for an opponent that might not be prepared for this.
They're very deep, too, and athletic, and interchangeable, it seems like, as well. That's a block and a goal sentence will get called. Yep. They count the basket. Smith inside.
Take a look at it. Well, it did get blocked. Got blocked on the way up.
And if that was the case,
should not be a basket. Oh, Memphis needed it.
Yeah, they'll take it. I mean, after all that, it's a 7-point game. Lucky it's not in double digits or worse. Here's Hudson for 3.
Oh, Lord. I think a lot of this is the physicality. I mean, there are so many things you have to consider beneath the surface, right? The many layers of impact that physicality has on a game. Rebounding is one of them, right? And it's not just getting to the ball, it's actually securing the rebound. You can't be soft with the rebound. And what happens there, it looked like Jaquan Walton was looking over his shoulder to see who's around him. He goes to grab it with one hand. He doesn't secure the basketball. Secure it. The old Steve Lather when I went to UCLA was chip, right? Elbows out. Although you got to be careful with the elbows these days.
5 minutes and 53 seconds to play in this first half. SMU 22, Memphis 15. Underneath the basket is Harris, and gets it in, and a foul's called, and count the basket for Smith. It's been phenomenal here to start this first frame.
Well, that's on Naquan Tomlin, and again, 4th game of the season, but look at where he's playing. I mean, you're playing behind Smith. Tyreek Smith's had a great first half. You're playing behind, allowing him to cut and seal. That's an impossible cover for the man covering the basketball. There's only so much you can ask the guy covering the ball to do in terms of pressure. Tomlin's got to get on the other side, force him out.
Well, he knew it, but it was too late at that point. He picks up his second personal foul as well. It's now in the double figures. It's a 10-point game, 25-15. Young. That was really good defense there by Jalen Smith to kind of shut off what would have been that reversal for Jones.
Again, better in person. They are better in person than what I saw on tape. They are really intense on the defensive end.
Crowd is getting restless. Smith to the hole, and he's fouled.
I mean, they are unquestionably the aggressor in this game. And that's something that Memphis really hangs their hat on. They're the aggressor. They dictate the way the game's played. They get that game fast. And I didn't think that SMU would be able to keep up the pace of the game the way it was in the first 5 minutes. But the reality is their defense is so good that they've been able to withstand any attack from Memphis.
And there's what we were talking about earlier. Second in the nation field goal percentage defense, three-point percentage defense, and 9th overall in scoring defense, giving up under 62 points a game.
They're not doing it by slowing the game down.
No.
This is in no way a pack-line defense, right? They're picking up full court. They're pressuring. They have the run and jump. They're double-teaming, which is really, at times, the double team puts the defense at a disadvantage because then you have to scramble really well. Growing in terms of the fire they have on defense.
Hudson was just 9 of 12 at the free throw line coming into today's game. He's got one more, but SMU's going to have the ball.
Just 9 of 12?
That's it.
Well, no, I'm saying, like, is 9 of 12 not okay for you?
No, it is. I should say not many attempts.
9 of just 12.
Correct. There that's it. Thank you.
I was going to say.
Revising the word again. I should have said it that way.
Anyone over 6'6" who's making 9 of 12, I would tell them.
Yes.
I would tell them to get there more often.
Percentage is fine. Correct. Right. Get there. 16 to 4. You're right. 16 to 4. SMU run here in the last 7 minutes and counting. I just feel like every time you turn around, they have the ball
and an offensive rebound.
Hudson gets it back, powers his way inside. Look out.
I mean, Malcolm Dandridge doing his best not to foul. And by the way, Malcolm Dandridge, I'm going to say it again, he looks terrific. This is the best shape he's ever been in his entire career. The hope is that he can just play more significant minutes and keep himself out of foul trouble. I mean, it's a good wall up if you're Dandridge saying, I can't foul.
Yeah.
And that's a tough grown man finish. Shame he only makes 9 out of his 12 free throws.
Yeah. Dandridge had the 2 personal fouls, like you're saying, so he's got to watch it. But we'll get to the free throw line here on the other end. The foul was on Smith for SMU as second. Harris controls it here for SMU. Over to right.
Even on offense, SMU's communicating well.
Hudson rejected by Dandridge, but right into the hands of Smith.
You can just see they're pointing, they're communicating. A lot of that comes from the communication on the defensive end. Steal here for Memphis. What do they do?
They need it. Young to the hole for 2.
Now you want to pick up if you're Memphis. Just start to be disruptive again. They've not been able to be disruptive on the defensive end. A lot of that has to do with the offensive rebounds for SMU.
Crowd coming alive here at the FedEx Forum.
Memphis going zone here.
Harris is saying, go away, I'm going to fire up a three, and it's off, and it's rebounded by Memphis and Walton. Young. Good job to stay with it as he gets to the Walton for three.
Just how you draw it up. Hey, dribble down, fall on the floor, lose the ball, throw it out, and make a three.
Harris again. That is
offensive. And negate the possible goaltend. The reality is they confirmed it because the ball was still above the rim and did hit the glass, had a chance to go in. I try to read the rule book to have an idea, but geez, things happen all the time. And I even kind of get on the guys. We always create scenarios with our calls. So if this happens and this happens, right, what does that mean? Well, that's something we can't think of them all.
See, that's how tough it is on these officials for sure. There's so many rules and regulations. What a play here by Jalen Young from Memphis. They cut it to 8.
Jalen Young could be really important at this point because he has the ability to get places. This game, he caps off a 7-0 run, and really what that does is it gets this crowd electrified as they head into the half here in the next 2 minutes and 50-some-odd seconds. Or 35, whatever.
Phelps has it. On the runner, it's too strong. Another offensive rebound. It was Hudson, and he got it back down to
2 seconds on the clock.
Yep, didn't hit the rim, and didn't recognize it.
Didn't know it. And part of that, this is where if you're a Memphis basketball player, you look up to the crowd and you say thank you. If they're not loud, if they're not engaged, you will hear that there's no time left on the shot clock. Crowd's engaged, players got caught up in the moment and didn't look up and see shot clock, and the ball didn't hit the rim.
All right, what do you got here now for the Tigers? Down 8 with the ball, just over 2 to go.
I think it's a great opportunity to get fouled. Get something going to the rim, and I trust playmakers. Get to the paint, sit down, watch the defense rotate. Still be aggressive.
Walton. He is aggressive. He misses it, though, and it's rebounded by SMU. What a pass. Smith up to Phelps. And that is rejected. Walton coming back, making Young on defense. And that pass is deflected on its way up. They wanted an alley-oop for Dandridge. Here comes Edwards for Phelps. Score it. And he thought he got fouled as well.
I think Nick Jourdain's going to be really important for this program at some point this season. I think he already is. He plays significant minutes, but he's got to get comfortable with the pace, right? Making decisions that are quick, more instinctual, less calculated.
Walton fouled on the baseline. Super Tuesday basketball doubleheader starts in Lexington with Kentucky and Missouri at 7. Then we got Duke and Pittsburgh at 9 coming up on Tuesday on ESPN and the ESPN app. What intrigues you about these teams and these games?
I like Kentucky. I think they're going to be a work in progress throughout the course of the season. Love their length. Love Reed Sheppard. Reed Sheppard knows how to play, and he makes everybody better, just his presence on the floor alone. I think Duke, Pittsburgh's an interesting team. They want to score it. When they do, they're really good. So can Duke kind of be disruptive enough defensively? I think it's a good game for Duke. I like Duke. Really like Jeremy Roach in a ball screen. I think he's been masterful. I think they could go to that more often. But they do a good job of finding their advantage, playing through Filipowski in the post when they have a good matchup. Again, all teams are a work in progress at this point in the season.
Offensive foul here on SMU.
Let's see.
On here.
Yeah, look, he's sliding up. He's not set. It's so hard to set screens these days. And the old thing is, well, that's on the ball handler. He was moving. And a lot of times we just set ball screens to set ball screens.
Right.
I see it all the time where it's like you got a matchup you like. The clock's running down. You run a ball screen up with 5 seconds left on the clock, and they just blow it up. Why are you bringing defenders? Sometimes it's okay not to have a ball screen. The best way to do it is disguise your ball screen so the defense is chasing. They're not established to defend it.
Coming up there for it, right?
No, you deny it. There's so many good ball screen, re-screen, but just the mindless ball screens.
Hardaway is Short, Williamson has it for SMU.
SMU's just been tough. Physical on the ball, sliding, sliding their feet, arms wide, chest up. Good fundamental defense. And they can play physically because they're not playing with hands.
See the rebounding numbers, 24-9 in favor of SMU in this game here today. They lead it by 10.
I didn't need to see the numbers. You see the game.
Yes. Phelps.
To the game. Felt like SMU was going to come out here first 10 minutes, feel things out, adjust to the game. It's been the exact opposite. Where Memphis has gotten smacked in the teeth.
Yes.
And they've got to figure out how to adjust, level up, be tougher. Not more physical. More physical, you tend to foul. Tougher, slide your feet, be tough. And it's something they're going to have to talk about at halftime. But foul trouble is going to be an issue, too.
That is correct. His Dandridge has 2. Tomlin has 3. And then to your point earlier about trying to get to the free throw line, they've been there 2 of them. You just need to be somewhere talking about the game, right? There's got to be you watching it and just giving us your thoughts.
Well, I'm going to give you thoughts no matter what.
Strike it down here. And now basket scored by Memphis and David Jones. And the final shot can be taken here by SMU with a 10-point lead.
The fact that there's not a Manning involved in any of that is, yeah, something feels wrong.
Williamson. Clock is down to 8. Phelps kicks it to the corner. A 3-ball. Hudson. It's not there. It's offensive rebounded and put back up and in. Story of the first half. To 8. And then next thing you know, it's back in the double figures. And here we are to start the second half. We'll see if the Tigers can keep that 7-game winning streak intact. Number 15 in the country, Dandridge, starts the second half and is too strong with it. But it stays with the Tigers.
That's kind of how it's been because you're waiting for the rotation. So Malcolm Dandridge comes over. His eyes weren't at the rim. His eyes were looking for defenders, so he really barely saw the basket until he took the shot. And that's a credit to the defense.
Walton off the inbound for 3. It's good. Jaquan Walton.
It's a good start. The key for Memphis is you want to find some things that you can do with confidence. They haven't really done much with confidence, particularly on the offensive end. So find some actions, find some options, get your guys some space. And if that double in the post is an opportunity to create an advantage, go for it.
He's hit 2 of their 3 threes, and as you see there, nice job by Edwards to come back for SMU. Edwards has 8 points in this game.
And that's on Javon Quinterly. You want to feed the post there. And Malcolm Dandridge has position, but you can't roll the ball on him. You got to give him something that he can get in his pocket and then go to work, especially if you're anticipating a double in that situation. They've been coming all night.
Williamson has got 6 points in this game for SMU. Back up for Edwards. Harris, nifty dribbling, misses on the front end. How about Jones? 6 points in that first half, John, on 2 of 6 in the field.
Yeah, but he could end up with 20 pretty quickly. It was a collective issue, though. It wasn't like it was any one guy.
And Walton has 10, the only Memphis player in double figures. Jones for 3. You said it. There it is.
All right, so lefties going to the right are pulling up for jumpers. Righties going to the left, pulling up for jumpers. Why? You're already in the pocket. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you're righty. Dribble to your left and see how they're already squared to the basket.
Edwards for 3. Couldn't go. Pulled in by Jourdain.
Good transition defense, though, getting back.
Jones thinking about it again. Pulls up and hits.
Told you it can happen quickly. 6-point game. Feels like Memphis is up all of a sudden. That's how much SMU's controlled it.
Largest lead for SMU was 15 at the 5:04 mark of the first half when they went up 30-15. All of a sudden it's 8-2 here to begin the second half.
I like this. I like this. Little run and jump with Nick Jourdain. Now, a big piece of that is disruption. The other piece of that is they trust their ability to scramble, particularly when they get their crowd involved. The crowd does have an impact. People think, oh, it doesn't really matter. You get so used to playing. No, man, we're all human, right? Human dynamics always come into play.
It's an awesome crowd here at the Forum, and it's been that way all season. The home games as Jones airballs that three.
Or maybe I was just weak mentally and it only got me. Yeah. That's what Coach Greenberg would tell me in studio.
Jourdain gets the block there. Interior defense. Walton knocked away. And he's going to be called for the foul.
It's funny how a crowd loves when an opponent misses a dunk or gets hung or something. It wouldn't have counted either way. Zerkfeld goes up for a little windmill showtime with the clock stopped, a foul in the backcourt.
They've had anywhere from 12 to 15,500 fans a game here at the Forum at home for this Tigers group.
It's typically the ones that couldn't touch the net if they tried to. Sorry, just saying. All right, like the run and jump. Now scramble out of it.
Phelps has it. Ball knocked away. Jones has it for Memphis. Up to Jourdain. And 47 seconds. So here comes Chuck Harris now.
And I like this run and jump with Nick Jourdain. Really like it. He can get himself back into the play. Now, a little risky when you do it with Malcolm Dandridge out to half court. You don't want Dandridge to get a step behind the play. That's often when he fouls.
Harris over to Jalen Smith. Nope, he's right, and trying to track it down, but he couldn't get it, and here come the Tigers and Jones again. Blocked inside. Right, this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, senseless thoughts.
I think America wants to hear
about football with John Crispin.
It's going to be a fun game, though, tomorrow night.
It's funny, too. Michigan's kind of become a villain this year.
Right.
Like every good big in college basketball, they're all villainized.
Yep.
Hunter Dickinson, villain. Zach Edey, villain. Malcolm Dandridge, villain. No, he's just a good block. Key for Dandridge right now is going to be stay on the floor, and that's why I say be careful with Dandridge in the run and jump 35, 40 feet from the basket. Tough for him to chase a play without fouling. Love using Nick Jourdain in that situation, but what a lineup right now. Tomlin, Dandridge, and Nick Jourdain in.
Here's Williamson for SMU, and he converts on the jumper, and he puts him back up 6.
That was a good cut, too. It looked like they sat in the two-play zone with the top side of the guards extended. The middle of the floor was wide open.
40-34 SMU. Not one player's in double figures in scoring for the Mustangs. Very balanced here today. Inside for Dandridge, and hard to stop that from point-blank range.
Hard to stop, but smart. If you're going to get a switch, again, play to your advantage. The advantage was down low. Dandridge went inside, gained position, and a good job by Quinterly being able to feed it.
Quinterly's got 4 assists in this game. 5 minutes gone by in the second half. Harris trying to lean in. They're going to call a jump ball. Possession stays with SMU. There's timeout.
Much better defensively from Memphis. There's a difference between scrambling and chasing, too. Memphis did a lot of chasing in the first half. They didn't scramble well. I think the run and jump establishes their scramble early in the possession. And I just thought of that, so I'll be interested to see if I can prove that to be right.
Sure. Well, playing together, you're right, a little out of sorts for sure in that first half, and much better here. Almost another block by Dandridge. Ball's inside to fight for it again. On the deck is Jones. Somehow gets it up to Walton, and he finds a streaky Dandridge. Ball was deflected. Smith.
See, this is how they scramble. This is really good defense, and they're going to get an open look.
Well, Williamson had it, but instead he took it in, gets it back to Harris, and the long jumper is off and rebounded by Tomlin.
I'm telling you, I believe that they've established what they want to do defensively with that run and jump early. That's going to be a foul. David Jones going to the free throw line. You establish, we're going to set the tone. We're going to dictate how we play by running and jump early and then scrambling out of it. They've been far better that way than chasing the play. Right there, that's just a good scramble play, throw ahead. And Malcolm Dandridge, look at the shoulders on this guy. Like, it's not like he walks by. It's a giant walking by David Jones, but that's effort, guys. That's work. He's had a lot of injuries. He's spent a lot of time playing for Penny Hardaway. He's dedicated himself. There's weight room, but there's also fitness, right? There are a lot of bigs who have worked on their fitness, and they've changed from being just a big enforcer to a guy that can run the floor and then give you a little versatility defensively. Again, shoulders. I mean, that's like a 56 long suit. Tailored, of course, because of the waist.
Yeah. Well, you're right, though. Playing back for Coach Hardaway back at East High School here in Memphis when Coach Hardaway was coaching them and to some state titles back in the 2016.
Thank you for paying that off, because I knew it to be true. I just couldn't give you that.
No, you're absolutely right. Is one of the lone non-transfers of this team that's been with Penny for a good 6 seasons or more.
It builds. It builds. You hear this crowd. And if you're Rob Lanier, you want to retake the game in the sense that you want to redictate how you're going to play. And I like picking up full here.
SMU has won for their last 9 from the field. Only scored 4 second-half points. Memphis on a 12-2 run in the last 5:40. Dandridge. Backing his way in. The ball got deflected. Hudson. And SMU gets a steal.
I thought SMU got laid when they across the arms.
Right. And he'll go to the free throw line.
SMU just has to kind of get that swagger, that edge, that mojo back. It's easy to have it when you're rolling. When you're tested on the road like this is a great environment. I love coming and doing basketball games here. This is a crowd that loves their basketball.
They do.
Very similar in a way, too. Sort of similar. You go to Carolina, you see the colors. You come to Memphis, everybody's wearing Memphis blue.
Wright has one more as they go up 2. You got Missouri and Kentucky coming your way on Tuesday, 7 o'clock Eastern. And then number 14, Duke and Pittsburgh, following that up in our doubleheader. Also on the ESPN app. Talking a little bit about it earlier. How good and how far could Kentucky potentially go this year?
Well, the potential is incredibly high in terms of Final Four. They can play unselfish. I think Reed Shepherd changes them, too. How about Malcolm Dandridge? Run the floor, big fella.
Count the basket and the foul.
I mean, 2-3 years ago, you never would have thought of Malcolm Dandridge as a rim runner. You get your fitness right, you dedicate yourself, you get healthy. Capitalize on being healthy for an extended period of time, and that does wonders. But he has been running the floor. He's been out around the perimeter helping, hedging hard on ball screens. He's a little gassed right now. He should be.
This is the second tie of the game that we have had here today.
Well, he's going to have to play more significant minutes because of the Naquan Tomlin foul trouble.
Memphis has still yet to lead in this game.
Doesn't feel that way, does it?
Right. Now in the second half, they come storming back. They were down 15 in the first half, 30-15. They've been on a 26-11 run since then. Hudson. Second try, you just saw him with the up fake, and then 3 white jerseys going into the air, coming down right off.
Well, he got the shot up, and it was a heavy contest. Sometimes when you contest, by the time you turn your head to go get the rebound, it's already coming off, and it favors the offense. Why? Because they're staring at the ball. They know where it's coming off. And then all 3 go up again. Guards have to be really active. If you're a guard and that shot goes up, go ahead and root Hudson out. This is what happens. If you don't get that rebound, Dandridge ends up picking up a foul.
Yes. The foul went to David Jones, though, his first, and Hudson's got one more after he cans that one. 2 years at Georgia State. His first year here, has 1 year left. Played for Rob Lanier at Georgia State. The guys who's been in the rotation here, that group of 10 players that have played all 15 games now for this SMU team, and he puts them back up too.
And that helps build chemistry too. I think they understand their expectations. They understand what's demanded of them, frankly.
Three for the lead, and that was a long one from Quinterly, but an offensive rebound. This by Jourdain. Jones eludes pressure now. He puts it up. And rebounded by Phelps. Before that, foul on the floor. On Quinterly, that's his second, or his first.
Memphis is right there, and it's almost as if they feel the crowd too much, and they start to push it a little bit, press it a little bit, force some issues. Instead, just sit back, wait, be patient, have a good offensive possession, because defensively for Memphis, when they get set and they're able to do some creative things like run and jump, start to scramble out of the defensive possession early, that's when they've been at their best. But taking tough shots gives SMU an easy opportunity.
Well, you saw it 4 of 11 from three-point range. Yeah, when you get that crowd behind you like that, you want to be the one that knocks down that three and puts your team on top.
Everybody wants to be the hero, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's right. On our way down to 12 minutes remaining, that's going to be an offensive foul.
So you're going to get more of those offensive fouls this year than ever before because of the new block charge rule at the rim. And God bless whoever came up with that. The block charge at the rim was the dumbest thing in the world. It just, and everyone wants to stop saying, it's a great play. It is a great play, then it's a stupid rule. I want to see athleticism, right? We have some of the greatest athletes in the world at this level playing on this floor, and a block charge just makes it a dangerous play more than anything else. We have more plays at the rim, but you can take more charges if you're covering the ball in legal guarding position.
Now we got to get you on the rules committee.
Well, that should have happened a long time ago.
It's a non-change rule a year, though, I think, coming up, so you have to wait 2 years.
Hey, you got to start your politicking. Come on now. Did you know how lobbying works?
Yeah,
jeez.
That's right. Crispin is campaigning. Right for three. Rebound. And up the court for Jones from Young, and he tries to go alley-oop Jourdain.
Wow. The play, but scrambling. There's a big difference between that. Whole idea of offense, if you run it properly, oh Lord, look what happened. The whole idea with offense is to get the defense to chase. The second you get the defense to chase, you're looking at long closeouts, more driving kicks, open shots, fouls, right? But if you can dictate the way things are going to be done, and you can start your scramble early in the possession, you have SMU playing faster than they want to play, possibly taking shots they don't want to take, and then looking all over the floor, not even knowing who's covering them.
3 of 8 on the free throws from Memphis. Would have given their first lead of the game. We'll have to wait for that. Now here is Harris. Pulls up. Williamson came in, tapped the goal, right into the hands of Jourdain.
Numbers.
Jones on the spin. Blocked inside. What a shot there by Tyree Smith. And now Williamson. And he's blocked by Jourdain.
Good possession here for Memphis. I think this is one where you don't have numbers, no reason to do anything crazy.
Yeah, Penny said hold it up here as well. He's got Dandridge and Quinterly set to check into the next whistle.
A good offensive possession allows you to do what you want to do on the defensive end, and that's not one of them.
That's not it. Young got it stolen away. Right. And he got it back.
Right now, Penny Hardaway is itching to get Javon Quinterly back in the game. You want to continue to build off this momentum. Really build off it, not lose it.
Right.
I think that's something you... So, yeah, you want to feed off the energy. Well, you don't want to lose it, too. There's the double.
Walton, cross court. That's Hardaway. 3 ball, and it's short. Thought he might have got hit. Instead, here comes Harris.
I still like, if you're not a knockdown shooter, I still like a backside cut to flatten the defense, and then the skip pass opposite wing will be there.
Yeah, that's a long pass.
Quarter to corner. Not only is a long pass, it's a hard shot.
Phelps, he was fouled.
Like, obviously, if you're a great shooter, play decoy. Stay there, that's fine. Be decoy, but you have to be in a position where you can receive a pass. That's a tough pass to make, hard one to catch and fire. If you just flash block, the defense has to sell. They have to take that away. And that means that skip pass that you can see as a guy being doubled. Cross court to the wing will be there, if not top of the key.
Bunch of substitutions here for both teams. Still a 2-point SMU lead. 9:46 to go. Ball gets inbounded to Williamson. Little fadeaway. Nothing there. Walton, pointer late. Feeds the cutter, and Stanford, he's fouled. And we'll have a chance to tie it up at the free throw line.
Against SMU, the bigger lineup has been good for Memphis. And I think part of that is rebounding. I think the other part is just toughness and confidence. You get confident when you got big guys on the floor that you feel you're going to get rebounds. Root out position. Dandridge has done a great job running the floor, so they haven't sacrificed pace. Sometimes you do have to sacrifice pace when you play with a bigger lineup. Tomlin's going to run. Dandridge is going to run. And you do have to be careful with a run and jump with a guy like Tomlin. You don't want him chasing too much with the 3 fouls. He's got 3, right? Yes.
Yes, he does.
No, the 4, excuse me.
You're right, Tomlin will pick up his 4th personal foul.
It's why they have assistants track those things.
Well, you said it, coming into these type of games, right, here in Memphis. I mean, it's a physical battle, back and forth. There's 5 fouls on each team, actually, right now in the second half. But 1, so it's 2 shots and the ball. So he was already called for the foul. They upgraded it to a flagrant 1. So now SMU here with Keon Ambrose Hilton will have another, and they will get possession. And still Tomlin has fouled out because that was his 5th. And so 1 of 2 for Ambrose Hilton. SMU's back up 2, and they have the ball.
And Malcolm Dandridge just became that much more important, and you almost may have to think about how you use your timeouts if you're Penny Hardaway to give Dandridge a little bit of a break. Maybe you go small for a certain point of time. I don't know if you really can go small with the physicality of SMU, though.
Tight game here today, to say the least. 46-44 now. SMU with possession. 9:20 to go in the contest. It's Phelps with it. Williamson trying to get a step. He did. Short of the runner. Rebound Dandridge.
Good job by Dandridge not contesting the shot. It was a tough shot in the first place. If he contests, he gives up an offensive rebound.
Jourdain trying to find Dandridge on the cut. It's out of bounds, staying with Memphis, and now you can see SMU saying, we'll review it, look at it. No, you can only do that with under 2 minutes to go in the game, and the ball knocked out of bounds. So the call stands. It's going to be Memphis possession.
One of the best calls in basketball is the one where it might have been a foul, and they just give it to the team that probably got fouled. I don't know if that's the case, but they should be able to call a game that way. I like your ones.
Jones, and there's a foul here. And it's going against Williamson, his 3rd for SMU.
It's funny we have rules that are, they're black and white. It's a foul or it's not a foul. The game doesn't play that way. The game is all played in the gray. I like being able to just feel a game if you're an official. These guys have done this forever.
Yep.
Call what you feel. Give us a good, clean game. That's it.
Doing a nice job here today with under 9 to go in this contest. And here it is on the far side. Walton gives it back up to Jones. 10 to shoot. Memphis down 2. Jones ties it up. 14 now, John, to lead the Tigers in scoring.
I told you, he would get 20 pretty quickly.
Phelps got it knocked away and stolen.
Nick Jourdain, tough, good hands, covered the basketball.
Jones, Memphis' first lead of the day.
And David Jones talked about he can light it up quickly. He's a tough jump shot maker. Mid-range is there. He's been seeking out some opportunities. He's certainly been aggressive in the second half. He's going to have 20-plus before you know it. But again, being aggressive also gets him to the free throw line. When he starts getting to the free throw line, it really becomes demoralizing for the opponent.
Chuck Harris called for his 3rd personal foul. Chance for the 3-point play. And You're right, just like that. Jones has a chance to get up to 17, his average of 20.9 points a game, 13th best in the country. And it's a Memphis team that does get to the free throw line a lot. And they're now starting to do it in the second half a little bit more. Jones with 11 second half points after 6 in the first half. Good rotation for SMU, and Edwards missing on the three. Jones has got a man down the court. It's Jourdain to the cutter, Dandridge. And it's in the hands of Quinterly for three. Jones the offensive rebound. Back to Quinterly. Three ball. Got it. Quickly back the other way. The ball is loose. Keon Ambrose Hilton, and he cleans it up, and he is.
Crowd gives you swag, too.
Second half shooting 11 of 19 at 58% from the floor for the Memphis Tigers, and now can add to this total here with a 4-point lead, 7.5 to go. Jones inside, has the cutter, Jourdain, found him a little late, and he lost it out of bounds.
The anticipation has to be there, and the anticipation has to be, where's the double coming from, and who's that guy covering? Where's the rotation out of that, and who's open? Because Nick Jourdain was wide open on the catch. Look at Malcolm Dandridge.
Trying to get down low on Keon Ambrose Hilton, and the defense there for Jourdain came, and he got a block and out of foul. Oh, the travel. It's dead.
I think they got it right. The travel came before the foul on Quinterly. Well, I don't say Quinterly's got to get more involved rebounding. I know he's leaking out a little bit. They really need him in there. More than just that little dig down. Got away with one there.
How about 8 blocks for the Tigers? It ties a season high for them here today.
Well, they just got to be careful with the secondary defenders trying to block every shot. And Nick Jourdain and Malcolm Dandridge been really good contesting. If you force a tough shot, get ready for the rebound.
Jones with a game-high 17 points. 4-3. Nope. Smith pulls it down. Back to Chuck Harris here. Plenty of time to shoot. He takes it in on Jourdain. He's kind of locked it up there, and he got hit. Ball gets out of bounds off of Memphis.
I got to give SMU a lot of credit, too. They really haven't been shook. They've been okay. Memphis just leveled up. And SMU just has to adjust to it, figure out what Memphis is doing, be a little more calculated, so you can play instinctually again.
Well, SMU has shot just 19% from the floor in this second half, 4 of 21. Edwards, nope, tapped out of bounds by SMU.
David Jones is one heck of a rebounder, too, when he really wants to be. Skies for the ball. He's often on the backside, comes his way a lot. And when he gets it, can be the first part of their fast break because he can push. Let's see if Tyrese Smith can do more. He was great in the first half.
Talking about 12 in red for SMU. Here's the 3-ball instead for the Tigers. No good. Dandridge the rebound. They're going to call foul. Off the miss from Walton.
Job by Malcolm Dandridge. He had position on the skip. So the ball was skipped, and instead of leaving, best place to rebound, left corner 3 is the right block. I don't think that statistic changed.
So Dandridge working super hard here in this game, and is going to have to keep it going for the final 5:36.
Yeah, look, he's worked. He's worked to get his body right. He's worked to be able to play significant minutes and have a more significant role. And there will be times this year where he's going to have to play 30 plus.
Well, for today, too, with Tomlin, who's already fouled out. The AAC is on ESPN+. We've got over 350 college basketball games, including more than 190 exclusive men's and women's conference games, as well as the American Women's Basketball Tournament. That begins March 9th. Sign up today, ESPNplus.com/AAC.
Yeah, look, really interesting year for the AAC. You lose Cincy, UCF, and Houston. North Texas, UAB. Charlotte beats FAU. I mean, what in the world?
Yeah, North Texas won the NIT.
And they beat UAB.
Right. Harris. 5-point deficit now for the Mustangs. He cuts it to 3.
Memphis maybe getting a little tired on the ball. David Jones stood up a little bit there, and the contest was just okay. Ultimately, he got beat off the bounce.
First points of the day to Chuck Harris on that drive.
This is where you have to convince yourself that it's okay to be tired later.
Right. Quinterly.
That's tough.
How about that?
That's tough. And he really, offensively, hasn't done a ton today. But giving up easy ones when you pick up and pressure can't happen for Memphis.
Right back down to Smith. He's got 11. SMU's won 4 in a row. Memphis has won 7 in a row. Quinterly is bumped and fouled by Smith, who picks up his 3rd.
Felt like Memphis could do more to get to the free throw line in the second half, and it might be how they can pull away down the stretch in ball screen situations if they're going to switch or flat. They're not really playing it flat. They're just kind of flat hedging. Quinterly's just attacking the bigger player and trying to drag him with him to the point where he's got the matchup he likes and can also throw down inside when Malcolm Dandridge has the advantage.
Memphis is such an experienced team. They've been around. They played a lot of college basketball. And how about the coaching staff as well? Right there to the right, Coach Benny Hardaway, Rick Stansbury. Talk about experience. And Mississippi State head coach for 14 years, an assistant. Was over at Texas A&M, head coach of Western Kentucky. Now here at Memphis, talked about why he was coming here. We got a chance to win a national championship. That's why I'm coming here. We got great people. Competition's awesome. This crowd is amazing. He loves it here.
Great program.
Yep.
And you want to add perspective to your staff. That's a tough finish. You're adding guys who have been in different roles, like a head coaching role, but you're adding perspective, eyeballs. Maybe see something that you don't see.
Correct. Harris does it again. Penny's done a great job of that. He's had some awesome assistants over there that have more experience and have coached a longer 10. SMU is actually the only team that's won more than once in this building. They've won twice, and so they know how to do it.
Well, they've been different teams. That was Kendrick Davis, Elijah, Emmanuel Bandamel. This is different, and I really want to give this SMU team their due credit. They have been tough, physical. They haven't been shaken by this crowd. They haven't been shaken by the toughness of Memphis in the second half. They're still right there. It's a 4-point game with 3:45 left.
And the crowd is rising to their feet. Phelps has it. Gets it to Harris. Thinking 3 ball. And he can't get it to go. It's knocked out of bounds. Off of Dandridge for Memphis. So SMU's got 20 on the shot clock. Will inbound underneath the basket.
I know the crowd's looking at it. I kind of thought the same thing from our angle.
Doesn't matter. Can't review it till under 2 minutes. Right. Over to Phelps.
So you're not listening to my little twirly finger right now?
No, nobody does. The officials are not. Hey, unless they come together like they did earlier and saw something different, they could do that and change it, but cannot go to the monitor. Phelps blocked by Dandridge. And it's still loose, and Jourdain's got it. And now Memphis with a 4-point lead and coming up on 3 minutes remaining in the game.
Smart by Jourdain, may have had numbers, but hasn't been the best at making decisions while playing with a fast pace.
Quinterly. Woo! Almost. Jones has the offensive rebound. Jourdain is blocked.
That's just a terrible pass, and that's what I'm talking about. Slow down, settle. Decision-making down the stretch is what wins or loses your basketball games.
Harris, that's a tough one, and he had guys down there for the offensive rebound. They got it. Hudson back out. Here's Ricardo Wright. and he hits the three. 7-1 in games decided by 6 points or less. So they found ways to win here. This veteran and experienced team. Can they do it again here today? Right back in a similar situation. Quinterly, the cutter is Jourdain. They're all over him, and he swings it out to Quinterly in the corner. Quinterly up top, Walton for three. And Smith has the board for the Mustangs, and they can regain the lead. Harris, as he bounces it to Smith, they're going to call the foul.
That's an I'm tired foul. That's what that is. I got you. Just needed a break.
Dandridge with his third, 8th team foul. It's a 1-and-1 situation for SMU.
It's just not necessary, too. I mean, you really don't need that foul in that situation. But you're putting really a 55% free throw shooter on the line. The key, if you're 55% free throw shooter and you're shooting a 1-on-1, just make the first. You make half your free throws, might as well just make the first.
Go. Easier said, right? And he did. Smith, 2 for 2 today.
He's been really good, too. First half, he was terrific. Hasn't done as much in his second, but versatile big, we'll call him.
Well, there it is, John. You said it, 1 of 2, and this is going to be Memphis ball. We're tied. 58 all, 2 minutes to go from Memphis, Tennessee.
Used to have a guy I played with at the free throw line. We called him 50-50. We just knew. We just knew.
Maybe we want a timeout here. Penny Hardaway wants to talk.
Just don't want to be a wide receiver and be called 50-50.
No, you can't be that.
That's not good.
Sure. 46. And SMU has come back to tie it up here. And here we go. Jones, the game high 17 points, hands off to Dandridge. Leaves it back for Jones. 15 to shoot. Wants a long three, got a piece of it, and that was Jalen Smith that was able to block it for SMU.
Just a couple of bad empty possessions for Memphis here down the stretch.
Up top, Chuck Harris. Ten to shoot. Harris takes it in, floating runner is no good. Dandridge. Wow. How about that board?
Okay, the board's one thing, but he contested that shot and got back up to get that rebound. It's impressive.
Feels like he's got more than 4 rebounds today, but that's what the stat sheet says. And here's Quinterly with a minute to go. It's still a tie game at 58.
I could have drugged that out further.
Quinterly, that is rejected by Smith yet again. And now, Smith 2 of 3 at the free throw line, now 2 of 4. And there's a whistle to foul the other way. Let's see. Did they call it? 50 seconds to go. And now a timeout by Memphis.
Thought you just had a timeout.
But that's how big this game is for both teams.
Yeah, part of me just wants to say whatever, go ball. It'll all work itself out in the end.
Quinterly pops it up. It's short. Rebound by SMU and Jaheim Hudson. 8.5-second differential. Shot clock and game clock. SMU will have to put something up. The ball's in the hands of Harris. He's directing traffic. Wants to clear out.
Harris has been good off the bounce, and they got trusted him. Quinterly might dig down, but you don't want to get an open 3 for right.
8 to shoot. Corner, driving. Hudson dishes it. Smith rejected inside. They're going to call a jump. Jump. Hardaway going to put it in with Quinterly.
Plenty of time.
Jourdain, Walton, and Jones. Here we go.
Timeout.
Yep, you got it. Quinterly.
Space.
8 seconds to go. Quinterly for 3. It's good! 3 seconds remaining. How about that? But he's on their feet here in the FedEx Forum. Smith gets it in. Harris. 3 seconds to go. Harris, and he is going to be fouled. So Jourdain fouls him.
Somehow found a way to win.
So there's the first part. And 1.1 remaining. It's off the front rim. It's picked up by... This was awesome.
SMU, good for them, man. They're real.
They are.
I mean, you're almost better off at this point missing.
Well, with .3 remaining, and you can see the look on these Mustangs players' faces. They battled today. Had a 15-point lead in the first half, but not going to be enough here as Lanier